I haven't slept since 2023. Story by Reddit user You Saturdead. Part 3. I would spend about 1 or 2 nights a week at Somyot's club. He'd offer me a job, but the pay was awful, and I was busy with other things. I literally didn't have enough hours of the day to work for him. I think that was for the best, though. He was a great guy to hang out with. But he must have been an awful boss. Cheap bastard. Somyot had some sympathy for me, though. I was working hard to make ends meet, and he respected the hustle. He offered me a couple of side gigs. For example, picking up leftover credit cards at ATMs. There's a kind of ATM that takes a long time for the card to come back out. So a lot of tourists think it ate them, so they leave the card behind. Somyot paid a little for each card I could bring him. So I would walk around and pick them up while waiting for Izara to finish work. Every little bit helps. We developed a good friendship. I would show up an hour or so before Izara needed a pickup just to hang out with Somyot. We'd usually just talk about movies, cars, girls, whatever came to mind. I didn't have a lot of people in my life I could just talk to about nothing. And I don't think he did either. We'd usually end up having a beer and chew betel nuts. They're these nuts that you wrap in a leaf and chew. It gives you a pick-me-up that makes your mouth burn. It sums up Somyot pretty well, legal but spicy. But things took a turn when I was invited to a private party of his. See, I'd been up for 27 hours straight at that point. I'd been working on a large project for my computer science class, and I'd been trying to get a couple of extra hours in at the delivery company. That, and a client needed me to redo their homepage after it got hacked. It was a perfect storm of a lot of little things, all at once, and it drove me to exhaustion. But I still got to Somyot's party. He had a nice place outside of town. He'd invited some people from the club and some business associates. He had these parties about once every 6 months or so. It was a way to show appreciation and brag a little. Still, Somyot had pulled out all the stops. He'd felt sorry for me, seeing me work so hard, and he'd brought a guy there from a research institute. They needed people for a data entry job, and he thought it'd be my kind of thing. Problem is, I was so tired I looked like I was on drugs. I didn't even understand the guy was offering me a paid position.
Like the story? Like, comment and share it for the next part.